Hi guys, what's up? First off, I want to say the camera is really far away from me right now. This is weird. Don't usually film videos like this. Second thing, yesterday was Ostara, very exciting, the spring equinox, and I decided to celebrate. I would film a little video of me planting my very first herb garden. I have 5 herbs here. I'm only going to be planting 3, and then I'm also going to be planting 3 flowers. And I figured it would be fun to do this in a video because it's something different, you know, and it's something that I wanted to do anyways, so might as well make a video out of it. And I know this video is a little bit late. You'll have to excuse that. I had a few rough mental health days. Y'all know the drill. I picked up these 3 gray little pots that have a water drainage filter from Dollar Tree, and this Sow and Grow kit is from Amazon, I believe. My grandma got it for me for Christmas. So this thing came with these like soil discs that I have to expand. So I have some water on the kettle boiling right now because they said to use hot water because it'll make it expand faster, and they said even with hot water it'll take like 15 minutes. So we're probably gonna speed that part up or just not record for that part because that sounds really boring. But another cool thing was on my Instagram, which if you've watched my last couple of videos, I've said it's the Wiccan Kid. I changed it, okay? I changed it. I'll put it on the screen right here. The Riley Kyle, it's back to my old social media name, I guess. I deactivated my other account that had that name because I just never used it, and I wanted my practice and personal account to be more personal. So instead of it being the Wiccan Kid, it is now the Riley Kyle, but I am on it regularly. I'm on it every day at least. So that's fun and exciting. You can go give me a follow over there and get like behind the scenes stuff. It's really cool. That would be the kettle. So I got this glass full of water. Where did I put the sowing instructions? No, I have to go find them. All right, we got them. We're good. Again, I really hope this is in focus. I have no idea. So we have 3 different seeds here: basil, thyme, and this is sage in here. The reason it's in a mug is because I had to soak the seeds in hot water overnight for like 24 hours before sowing them or sowing them. I don't know how it's pronounced, okay? Now I have to put heat 1 to 2 liters of water, blah 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 blah. This will soften, pour half a glass. So all right, that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to do it this way then. Oh boy, she's definitely expanding. That's about half a glass of hot water is definitely expanding. So we're gonna let that sit and marinate for a minute. Hopefully it'll work and do what it's supposed to do. And I'm gonna have to get up and do this like 4 different times. It's gonna be really annoying, but I'll do it. But as I was saying, I asked you guys over on my Instagram if you had any questions for me about my practice in witchcraft or just general questions. So I'm going to read some of these questions throughout this video and answer them with you, and it'll be a good time, and that's what we're gonna do. So while we're waiting for this soil disc to completely soak up the water, let's do the first question. The first question is, what has been your favorite plant for healing if you have one? For both physical and emotional healing, I suggest arnica flowers. Be cautious though, don't ingest them or anything because they are poisonous. I recommend using them more for spell work, like where you're putting things into a spell jar, because then they're not going to be touched, they're not going to be consumed, you don't have to worry about them poisoning you. But I have found that they are really, really good for healing. Alright, it looks like it soaked up all of that water now, so it wants me to pour in more, a little bit at a time. I have to pour more than a little bit though for it to be able to actually like soak it up. This is, however, going to take a while, I can already tell. But the first seeds we are going to plant are going to be sage seeds. I'm excited to grow some garden sage. I can use that to make my own cleansing sticks. I'm really excited about that, so I won't have to buy white sage, which is actually endangered, and I want to make sure that I'm sourcing things as ethically as I can while also being budget friendly. So I figured it would be, you know, nice to grow my own herbs and such. It should be a good time. You know, it said not to pour directly on it, but there's no way the top of this would actually expand if I didn't. So pour it on the top, see how that works. Yeah, that's definitely expanding now. Wow, we're really gonna be sitting here for a long time. So it looks like the soil is done. I added a bit too much water, so I am gonna have to squeeze some of that water out. But other than that, let us do this. We're planting the sage first. The sage is in here. I'm going to use this pot. I'd love to know what you guys did for Ostara or Easter or whatever you celebrate and are planning on celebrating. Oh yeah, I added way too much water. If you want to let me know what you're planning on doing for that over on Instagram at the Riley Kyle, you can comment on my post about Ostara, either the one that has the fake flowers in it or my Book of Shadows post with it. Oh my gosh, I added way too much water. Well, now we know for next time, don't add that much water. That is a straight up stick. Fortunately, the water in it is hot, so I'm sitting here trying to squeeze out the excess water like it says to, and I'm burning my hands. I feel kind of bad that this video is like a couple days late probably, because it was supposed to go up today, the day I'm filming this, but I just don't have the energy, or I didn't have the energy, and things were just at the point of getting really overwhelming for me, so I decided to just not film when I was supposed to film because I was dissociating and it was a bad time. But I feel like you guys are pretty generally understanding when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take these seeds, if I can get them out of here, that would be good. There we go, kind of look like caviar. Plop them down in the soil. Man, it's hard to get them off your fingers when they're sticky and stuff. Hopefully that a few of these will propagate and create actual plant matter, because that would be dope. I really, really want to be able to grow my own herbs, so if this little experiment works out, it'll be a good time. Alright, the seeds are there. Let us, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to wash my hands like 80 billion times. Oh yeah, way too much water. Way too much water in here, guys. At least we know for the future to get a lot less water. Alright, well, the sage is officially planted. Since this is going to take forever, I am going to expand some of the other discs and such, and I will be back. So that was an experience. As you can kind of see, I have pots of all of my plants. I planted all of them. I decided I was just going to do it because trying to get up, turn the camera on and off, wash my hands multiple times to do that was just a pain in the ass. So what I am going to do right now is clean up my little station here, put my plants on the plant holder, come back and answer a few questions. But after I take care of my hand, because one of my nails completely broke off, so we're gonna have to figure out what to do there. But it's okay because I have plants. Alright, we're back. As soon as I am done with this little question and answer bit, I am going to show you guys the finished potted plants. Obviously right now it just looks like dirt in a pot because I just planted the seeds, but my little plant pole thing is cute and I think you guys will like that, so I will show you in just a minute. But because I underestimated how difficult it would be to be on my phone and answer questions while doing this, which I was kind of stupid about, should have recognized that it was going to be a difficult time, but I didn't, so I'm going to continue here. What are some crystals that you really want? There are quite a few on my wish list right now, and I already have one of them, but I really would like a bigger one, and I'm just very excited about this crystal, and that's Angel Aura Quartz. To me, it is absolutely beautiful. It is one of the prettiest crystals I have ever seen in my life, and I only have a small piece. It's like this big, and it was like $5 because these crystals are rare and expensive, so I really want one of those at some point. I want to save up for like a cluster that's as big as my hand, which is gonna be expensive, but it will be 100% worth it. What is something you haven't had the ability to explore but would really love to? I've had the ability to explore it, I just haven't because of lack of motivation and also because I've been exploring other things, but I think exploring being a kitchen witch would be really cool, incorporating herbs obviously and other magical elements of cooking into my life, and just herbs in general, like growing them, propagating them, and obviously I'm just starting to step into that with today's video, but I would really like to explore more adding just herbs and general kitchen things to my everyday witchcraft practice. What is the biggest part of your craft? I think this is a really interesting question because I'm not 100% sure right now what the biggest part of my craft is. I love crystals, I love collecting crystals, I love working with crystals, but I also love meditation and all different forms of divination. But I think if I could describe one thing that my practice kind of encompasses all around, that would be mindfulness. And I know a lot of you fucking hate that word. Trust me, I hate that word too. I have a lot of, not trauma, but like a lot of memories associated with the word mindfulness because I was in dialectical behavioral therapy for a really long time. And trust me, they drill that word into your mind. But it's true. I use mindfulness in my everyday life and especially in my practice. So I think that's probably the biggest part of it right now. What's your favorite kind of tea? I think I have two different favorite kinds for different categories. For herbal teas, I really like peppermint tea. Peppermint tea is very relaxing to me. It is really great for congestion and if you're sick, and I just love the taste of it. But for black tea, I definitely prefer chai. Chai tea is my favorite. I love chai with a little bit of milk and a little bit of honey, and it's just one of my absolute favorite things to drink. What is your favorite part of your path? Probably the fact that I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly learning new information, I'm taking in new sights and things, and I feel like I'm always growing as a person, and that is something that I really enjoy about witchcraft and the path that I'm following right now. What herbs are you growing? Well, I currently have basil, thyme, and sage that I planted and I'm growing, and for regular flowers, I planted daisies, forget-me-nots, and poppies. How do you find yourself on the Wicca path? It's so interesting to hear about different journeys. I definitely agree. I love hearing about other people's experiences and how they found Wicca or how they found witchcraft or whatever religion or practice that they do. I think religion is very interesting, and I have always been interested in witchcraft and Wicca, but due to living in a very Christian household with not so accepting family, I wasn't able to really explore it until I moved out, and I feel like I've been actively practicing for I've been really practicing for about 6 months now, and I started learning probably about 10 months ago, but nobody really introduced it to me. It was something I kind of came to on my own. I decided I was gonna read a bunch of books on it and just see if it made sense, and as I started doing my research, everything kind of clicked in my brain, and it was like, this is what you've been searching for a really long time. So after a couple months of studying and learning, I decided I wanted to adapt the label of a witch as well as call myself a Wiccan. And I know for a lot of coven practices and even a lot of solitary practices, people recommend studying for a year and a day before you really commit, and that's kind of what I'm doing, but I think I'm already at the point where I'm committed. So those are the little questions. Now let me show you the plants. So here are the little flowers. I have one of my little fairy guys right there hanging out. Daisies, forget-me-nots, and poppies. I'm very excited for these to be growing. On the next tier up, I have my sage and another little fairy. And then up here is my basil and another little fairy. And then I believe if I can see up here, up there, it is thyme. But walking back, this is what my little plant pole looks like. It goes all the way up to the ceiling, but then comes back down and rests on the windowsill. We actually was able to take the bottom pole off because that used it to go to the floor. We found out that this takes up less space and it's just nicer, honestly. Plus I've got all 5 of my little tiers. And for anyone wondering, that is actually a shower pole off of Amazon. I believe it was like $20. If I can find it, I will link it down in the description if you want to get one for yourself. So that was today's video. I know it was random, kinda unplanned, kinda probably boring because you didn't watch me plant as much as you should have. I just underestimated how hard it was gonna be to use a camera. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can be sure to subscribe because I post a new video on this channel about once a week. I also have 2 other channels. They will be linked in the description if you want to check them out. Riley Kyle Vlogs Daily is my vlog channel, and Riley's Little Space is my age regression channel. If you want to keep up to me in my day-to-day regular life and potentially get sneak peeks on videos or the ability to be part of a Q&A, definitely go follow me over on my Instagram. It is at @TheRileyKyle. I don't really use my other social media. That's the only one I'm on right now. But that is it. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.